This company started as an online bookstore site and soon quickly grew to one of the largest e-commerce sites and companies in the world in a matter of years. Making billions and billions of dollars in revenue, the owner of the company grew to become one of the richest people on earth. If you haven't figured it out yet, we are talking about Amazon and its founder, Jeff Bezos. Amazon.com is an American multinational conglomerate considered as one of the big five companies in the United States that has a stronghold on the e-commerce, cloud computing, digital streaming, artificial intelligence, and home automation industries. On January 12, 1964, a child was born to a 17-year-old high school girl named Jacqueline and a 19-year-old Theodore Jorgensen. That child was named Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen, and his mother had to attend night school to take care of baby Jeff. Soon, Jacqueline got a divorce, after which she married a Cuban immigrant, Mike Bezos, and that is how we know Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen as Jeffrey Bezos, one of the richest and most influential people in the world. As he grew up, he displayed scientific interests and technological proficiency, and once rigged an electric alarm to keep his younger siblings out of his room. While in high school, he worked at McDonald's as a short order line cook during the breakfast shift. Jeff Bezos, in his graduation speech, spoke about his dream of seeing mankind colonize space. Fast forward to July 2021, when Jeff Bezos, along with his brother, went to space in Blue Origin spacecraft. He graduated from Princeton University with a degree in electrical engineering and computer science.
Before founding Amazon in 1994, Bezos worked at Wall Street in a variety of related fields from 1986 to early 1994. The reason Bezos started Amazon, leaving his job at D.E. Shaw as its fourth vice president, was he believed that he had to be a part of the internet revolution that was booming then, and very well so. His idea of starting an online bookstore paid off. He originally called his online bookstore Kadabra, but later changed it to Amazon, partly because it started with the letter A and would appear on top of search lists, and also because it coincided with his dream of creating the largest online bookstore. However, it wasn't in Jeff's mind to stick only to books. He wanted to expand into a variety of other product categories. In 1998, Amazon began shipping internationally by acquiring online sellers of books in the UK and Germany. In the same year, they began selling music and videos, and by the end of that year, he expanded the product line to include a number of other consumer goods. The very next year, Amazon began selling items including video games, consumer electronics, home improvement items, software, games, and toys. In 2002, Amazon announced a partnership with several major clothing companies to offer 400 apparel brands in its online store. In July 2002, Amazon launched Amazon Web Services (AWS), opening up the Amazon.com platform to all developers, and by 2004, over 100 applications were developed over it. On March 14, 2006, Amazon S3 cloud storage was launched, which enabled developers to focus on innovating with data rather than figuring out how to store it. AWS got so popular that in a press release in 2006, Amazon said that more than 150,000 developers have signed up to use Amazon Web Services since its inception. In October 2013, it was revealed that AWS was awarded a $600 million contract with the Central Investigation Agency. There are many more instances like these in which large and important organizations such as the US Army and Navy have shifted their data to Amazon Web Servers. To give you an idea about the size and scale of AWS, Netflix, which is one of the largest video streaming platforms, is hosted on AWS itself.
In 2005, Bezos announced a $79 a year loyalty program that includes free 2-day shipping on any order, and this was known as Amazon Prime. This came to India in July of 2016. In March of 2014, the price of Amazon Prime was increased to $99. Shortly after this change, Amazon announced Prime Music, providing unlimited ad-free music streaming. In April of 2015, Amazon started a trial partnership with Audi and DHL in order to deliver directly into the trunks of Audi cars available in Munich in Germany and to some Audi connected car users. In May 2015, Amazon began offering free same-day delivery to Prime members in 14 United States metropolitan areas. In September 2016, Amazon subsidiary Twitch announced features available to users with Amazon Prime subscription. Amazon then partnered with different game developers offering in-game loots as well as rewards to subscribers. In December 2016, Amazon began offering Prime membership for an alternate monthly instead of a yearly fee of $10.99 per month, increased to $12.99 in February 2018. In May 2018, Amazon increased the annual US Prime membership fee from $99 to $119. With a user base of more than 100 million members worldwide, Prime is considered as one of Amazon's most valuable assets.
In November 2007, just as the holiday shopping season is about to kick into full gear, Amazon unveils its Kindle. The electronic reading device enables users to wirelessly download books, magazines, and newspaper articles, among other content, at a starting price of $399. Kindles have evolved a lot since their first generation. The first 3 generations of Kindles came with a keyboard. The 4th and 5th generations came with buttons for home, back, etc. And then came the latest versions as we know of it today, the Kindle Paperwhites. Way back in 2008, Amazon acquired the audiobook company Audible for $300 million. I don't know how popular audiobooks were back then, but this acquisition currently helps Amazon a lot, as Audible now holds 41% of the audiobook market, which has been growing rapidly with the rise of smartphones and streaming-enabled car audio systems. Despite attempts to penetrate the shoe market, Amazon wasn't able to catch up with Zappos.com, which provided free returns and overnight shipping. So what do you think Amazon did? Yes, they acquired Zappos.com for $900 million.
In 2014, the smartphone industry was booming, and Amazon, being Amazon, wanted to take advantage of this as well. So they launched their Fire Phone in July of 2014. You can consider this to be one of the biggest failures in the history of Amazon, costing them over $170 million. The reason for the failure of the Fire Phone was that it was solid, but it was as expensive as the iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S series, and it did not bring anything additional compared to the competition, and their apps were not as great as the ones of Android or iOS. In the same year, Amazon buys Twitch Interactive, the 3-year-old video game streaming company, for $970 million. The deal did not only complement the work being done at Amazon's own game production division, but it also helped pulling the global gaming community towards its cloud platform, Amazon Web Services.
In November 2014, Amazon announced their smart speaker for a select group of customers, kind of like a beta, and then in the holiday season next year, they put these smart speakers for sale in over 3,000 stores all across the US. The first version of these smart speakers with Alexa built in was called Echo, and it connected to the voice-controlled intelligent assistant Alexa, who can perform tasks such as music playback, making to-do lists, setting alarms, streaming podcasts, and playing audiobooks, in addition to providing information about weather, traffic, and other real-time data. It can also control several smart devices, acting as a home automation hub. Today, Alexa can work with a number of smart plugs and other smart home gadgets and make your home almost fully automated. For example, if you don't want to get up early in the morning and walk up to the bathroom to switch on your geyser for hot water for your bath, you can install a smart plug and just ask Alexa to switch on the geyser, and boom, it's done. I would consider this to be a blessing in disguise for all those lazy people out there. Jokes apart, Amazon has sold about 16.5 million of these smart speakers as of Q4 2020, which is a huge amount.
As the pandemic hit in 2020, Amazon saw a huge rise in sales and profit as shoppers turned to the online giant to deliver goods to their homes in the pandemic, as everything except essentials were closed. One of the many industries that were boosted than set back by the pandemic was online shopping. No one could have ever imagined that 10 years ago, with a click of a button, we could get whatever we wanted to be delivered to our doorstep, but because of Amazon, it has become a reality and a part of our daily lives.
Before closing this episode, we should also talk about some of Amazon's flaws, or the dark side of Amazon. The very first thing is that Amazon usually sells their products at a discounted price, and when they have specific deal days such as Prime Days etc., the price go even lower. This doesn't matter to Amazon as they have other sources of income, mainly from AWS. Even the customers are really happy because of these great discounts. However, this affects the local retailers and small vendors the most, who have to deal with huge losses even if they sell their products at MRP. The next thing is that they make their own copied version of popular products, especially smart home products, which they can integrate with Alexa and sell it at a lower price, which affects that smaller company that was originally making the popular product and selling it on Amazon. For example, there was a company making smart ovens, and then Amazon launched their own smart oven with Alexa at a cheaper price, due to which this company, which was originally making the smart home oven, had to go through a lot of losses. The next thing is the horrible working conditions at Amazon fulfillment centers and corporate offices. There were many articles about Amazon's workers having to pee in water bottles as they were not allowed to use the restroom for whatever reason during their shift, and even delivery drivers having to take the dump in their van, and many such things which arise from the customer obsession mentality that lives with Amazon. They focus so much on their customer that they forget about their employees and delivery partners.
Another major problem in Amazon is fake reviews and counterfeit products. For those of you who don't know, when search for a product on Amazon, the product with the highest rating is shown on the top, and as you go down the list, it decreases. Small businesses are paying their customers up to $1,500 so that they give them a positive rating and they remain on top of the search list. About counterfeit products, I have nothing to say because you guys would have experienced it at least once in your whole online shopping experience. This mainly happens when expensive products such as phones, televisions, etc. are counterfeited and are listed under the name of a reputed brand and priced cheaper. For example, about a month or two back, I came across this news about a man in Indonesia who ordered an iPhone 6 as it was very cheap, and what he received was a table in the shape and design of an iPhone. There have been many cases of sellers using pictures of the original Apple AirPods to sell their counterfeit TWS earphones. Amazon creates unmanageable amounts of recycling and waste with its packaging. Even for small items, they use loads of packaging, such as they'll first wrap it in a bubble wrap, then put plastic covering around which they will use cardboard, which is really unnecessary unless the item is easily breakable.
We can't talk enough about the uses of Alexa as a smart home hub and all, but Alexa devices can listen to whatever we say even when it's on standby, which is a clear infringement of our privacy, and there have been also instances of Alexa devices being hacked, and this is the last thing you want the hacker to know. I feel these points should also be discussed more, and if we talk about these things, Amazon will take action and resolve some of the issues, if not all. So that ends this episode. We tried to make it as informative as possible, at the same time tried to limit the time as well. If you listened up till this point, thank you very much, and if you liked it, share it with your friends. We would also take a moment to remind you guys to follow us on Spotify and subscribe, as well as leave us a review if you are listening on Apple Podcasts. We also recommend you to check out our YouTube channels where we upload clips of podcasts, unboxings, etc. We are also uploading shorts daily now. We'd appreciate if you go give them a watch. They are informative and also don't consume that much of your time. Thank you guys once again. See you in the next episode of this series. Bye bye.